Demonstration on Adria 182DL 1200. First off, your control panel is just above your habitation door. This middle light here, that will be on once you hook up to the mains power. So at the minute I'm not hooked up, so that's why it's not lit up. I can still work the van off the leisure battery. So to turn it on, just simply press that button, and that simply turns it off again. So on. This top is for the water pump that runs the water through your kitchen tap, bathroom tap and shower. So make sure that's turned on. Here on the right hand side you have different levels. The top one is for your leisure battery and fresh water tank. So if you press that, hold it down, it shows your level for your leisure battery is 12.2 volts. Once you're plugged into the mains, that'll be right up to the top to 13.5 volts. And your freshwater tank is 75% full. The bottom one shows the levels for your engine battery and your waste water tank. So at the minute your engine battery is showing fully charged and your waste tank is empty. Your fridge works with the 12 volt. So simply to turn on your fridge is this bottom button. Hold that in. That's your fridge on. The top button here controls your level of the coolness of the fridge. And to open it up, simply pull that back and then close. Your heating has two modes, electric and gas. The bottom knob controls whether you want heating or gas. So at the minute, if you can see the wee small nub, that's pointing to your gas. Above that you have two elements on electric, element 1 and element 2. Element 1 is very low and element 2 is the higher one. So below that again you have both a mixture of gas and electric. So you have gas element 1 electric and gas element 2 electric. So for us to put it on gas here now, you have on gas there. On the top knob, this one is the heating mode. The one below that is heating and warm water. And then go above that again, you have warm water only at 40 degrees and warm water at 60 degrees. So if we want to put on the heating on gas, simply put it to that wee gas flame, and this knob here controls the speed of your fan. So now we're on heating on gas. It's recommended to heat the van first and then heat your water if required. It's very slow to heat your van and warm water at the same time. So for your cooker, it's fairly simple. Just make sure your gas is turned on. Simply turn that round to the first flame, hold down and press your sprinkler. And as you can see, you're lit. That's you there now. So for the rear bed, these panels here slide out from underneath here. As you can see, they just slide back into place above. You can use these cushions to then fill up the space in the middle. Or that should be all the way about. You also have a hammock, which this steel bar goes into the slotted. And the way this hammock goes on, pull back, pull the bar back, point down. That's the only way you'll get it done. Your gas tank, or gas tank storage, is in the rear. So you have a wee lever in here you pull. Let's put the phone down here. Two wee catches here. So you need your 2 hands to pull them up. 2 gas cylinders. This camper only holds 6 kgs. So simply to turn your gas on and off is only this knob here. So to turn it off, turn clockwise. And to turn it on, once you change over to bottles or new bottles, turn it anti-clockwise. Make sure you turn the gas bottle off before you disconnect the pipe. Once you have that knob opened up, the small green button here has to be pressed down. To disconnect the hose, this is a left hand thread. So if you're changing the bottles, make sure you remember it's left hand thread, not right hand thread. So instead of lefty loosey and righty tighty, it's lefty tighty, righty loosey. When filling your van of fresh water, simply connect the hose, take this out, same as your diesel tank. This just comes out. This also locks. Stick the hose onto it, and just ordinary garden hose. It then fills up your freshwater tank. But there is a plug here, has to be tightened up first. There's this valve here. Make sure that's closed. So turn it clockwise to close it. Open it anti-clockwise. The reason you'd want it open is when you drain your tank for the winter. Also, when you're filling your freshwater tank, this is your boiler and heater. It's underneath the hatch, underneath the bed, on the left hand side. There's a valve down here, one with the blue diamond shaped on top of the black box. That has to be closed. There's a blue button at the side of it. It's hard to see from up here. That has to be pushed in. So at the moment that's closed. So if I was to turn that anti-clockwise, that button will pop out. That drains your boiler of water. So when you're filling your freshwater tank, make sure that button, the diamond shaped button, is closed. Turn it clockwise, and then press in the blue button. It's just down at the side. You can kind of see it of the black box. So you turn the diamond shaped button clockwise, where it is there now, and press in the blue button at the side. So that's whenever you're filling your freshwater tank. Also, the purpose of that frost valve is if the weather gets too cold, to about 2 degrees to below, that button pops out and drains your boiler of water. As to save your pipes from freezing up. If you go to use your van some morning or evening and you find that button won't stay in, that's because it's too cold. So simply put on your heating for about half an hour, then try to put on the button, then it should stay in by itself. So that's 2 things. When filling up your van of fresh water, make sure the black tap is closed on your freshwater tank, and that blue button and the diamond shaped button is closed and the button is popped in. During the winter we would recommend that you drain the whole van off fresh water. Simply open up the black tap in your freshwater tank turn the blue knob to open the water. That'll empty the contents out of your freshwater tank and boiler. Then run your water pump. Open up your taps, that'll run your water pump to between hot and cold, and that'll empty your pipes and taps of water. You can blow one back through the taps if you wish. That'll get rid of any other excess water running through the pipes. It's just to stop the pipes from busting during the winter if a sharp frost would happen to come. You have a trip switch, same as your home, for your 230 mains power. That is located underneath the hatch on the living area seating. So lift your cushions and you can see lift the hatch and it sits in there. The black box is your jack and wheel brace and accessories. This box here is a solar panel. That sends a trickle charge to your leisure battery. Basically you don't have to do nothing with that, that runs away by itself. The living area also turns into a bed. As you see, you just lower the table to the bottom bracket. The leg has a knuckle joint on it by pressing that wee button on the right hand side, and that folds onto the leg. And you can then bring down the cushions from the living area to make up a bed. The passenger side seat is on a swivel. That swivels right round to meet. Your leisure battery is located underneath the passenger seat. To gain full access, the seat has to be screwed off. You can get access in through this front hatch. You also have a kill switch here. So make sure if this is turned on, if you want power to your van, to kill the van altogether, just turn it off. That's it, back on. This lever here opens your bonnet. Simply pull back. Underneath this hatch is your engine battery. Your step is an automatic retracting step whenever the engine starts. So once you put on the power into the engine or start the engine, you hear the buzzing. That automatically retracts the step and it's a safety precaution. Underneath the driver's seat, this blue box is your battery charger for your leisure battery and fuses. So anything to do with 12 volt on the van, the fuses is here. As you can see, it tells you the fuses for the lights, water pump, and so on. Your toilet flush operates by this blue button here. You have a hatch on top of the bowl here, which this grey lever here opens and closes. You can see it's closed, and that's it open. That empties the contents into a cassette. So to flush your toilet, simply press this button. That runs the same pump from your freshwater tank and fills your bowl. And then simply empty your contents into your cassette. I'll show you how the cassette pulls out now. Before we show you the cassette, before you pull out the cassette, make sure this hatch is closed. Otherwise your cassette will not pull out. So make sure this hatch is closed. So your toilet cassette is in the hatch on the left hand side. Simply pull up this blue lever here, pull the whole thing out. To empty this, you would empty it in your nearest gully and your campsite, or usually campsites have toilet facilities, you can do that. It comes out through here. This here turns. Unscrew this cap and you can empty your contents down the toilet or gully. So you put it back in, simply screw that back on and your cassette locks back into place. This here is your exhaust for your heating system, and it works in gas. Basically you don't have to do nothing with that. That runs away itself. On the left hand side as well, we have our electrical hookup, which is there. your awning pole is underneath. It's in the back underneath. See it in there? As you can see, it's sitting up on there. That simply connects into your awning and you turn to wind it out. Now make sure you don't pull out the awning on a windy day, as it can lift your awning over the top of the van and that's the awning destroyed. Also, when you're winding the awning back in again, make sure you wind the awning in the direction you pull the awning out. If you go the opposite direction, you wreck the cloth and the awning has to be replaced. The black vents you see around the van, the wee round vents here, that's for your heating. That's for it blows the warm air out through the van. Your fresh water, once you pour it down your sinks, goes into a waste tank. It's underneath the van. You can see that grey pipe. Simply turn this knob here. That empties the contents, and to close it, just turn it clockwise again. That's on the left hand side of the van. Your radio and reversing camera is powered by your leisure battery. There's a small switch here on the right hand side of your steering wheel. That's off, and that powers the whole thing on. That's a safety precaution that the whole thing doesn't run down. You can see it's powering on there now. So when that comes on automatically once you go into reverse.
They've announced that several hit shows on Netflix are coming to an end.
And when you come out of reverse,
the shopping
it goes
list
back to
is
the
as
radio.
follows. Ozark is the top of the list. The fourth season, which